When powerful men stop talking, it means they've started thinking. And when Vladimir Putin goes silent, it doesn't calm the world, it terrifies it. Because this is a man who built his reputation on force, defiance, and unpredictability. Yet now, at one of the most tense moments in global politics, his voice has almost disappeared. No explosive warnings, no dramatic retaliation, no new threats, just silence. And that leads to the question no one can answer. Is Putin silent because of American pressure? Or because he's planning something the world isn't ready for? Every time Putin speaks, the world listens. Because his words don't just influence Russia, they influence markets, militaries, alliances, and global stability. But right now, the Kremlin has shifted into a strange quiet, and in global politics, silence is never an accident. It's a signal. The only mystery is, what is that signal meant to say? The first possibility is simple. Putin is silent because the United States has tightened the grip. Over the last few years, Washington has used every tool available to weaken Moscow's power. Sanctions on banks and energy companies, blocking technology and financial access, strengthening NATO near Russia as borders, providing military and intelligence support to Russia as opponents. This isn't open warfare. It's something more subtle. Strategic suffocation. The goal isn't to destroy Russia instantly. It is to slowly limit Putin's ability to move. And for the first time in years, the pressure is real. Russia's economy is under strain. Its military has been tested. Its global alliances are weaker. So perhaps Putin's silence is not strategy. Perhaps it's survival, a pause forced by circumstances. Here's the problem with that theory. Putin has faced American pressure before, and in the past, he never went quiet. He escalated, he retaliated, he warned, he used speeches to show strength. So why would he suddenly choose silence now? Unless, this time, the silence itself is the strategy. Putin comes from a background of intelligence operations. He understands deception. He understands patience. And, most importantly, he understands the power of unpredictability. In warfare, announcing your intentions is weakness. The most powerful moves are made when your enemy isn't expecting them. And history shows us something fascinating. Before major Russian actions, Putin usually becomes quiet. Before Crimea, before Georgia, before large military or political shifts, he studies, he calculates, then he moves, which makes his current silence feel less like hesitation and more like preparation. But global pressure isn't the only factor. There's also what's happening inside Russia itself. A leader like Putin doesn't just manage foreign enemies. He manages internal power struggles. Behind him are military generals, economic elites, political allies, security services, and when stress builds, even the strongest governments begin to show cracks. If Putin is facing disagreements within his own circle, silence might be his way of stabilizing the system before making his next move. Because before acting outwardly, he must first ensure control inwardly. Putin doesn't just fight with weapons, he fights with fear. His unpredictability is one of his strongest tools. When he speaks, he signals direction. When he stays silent, he signals mystery. And mystery makes opponents nervous. Right now, the West is not reacting to what Putin says. They're re-reacting to what he might be thinking. That is psychological warfare at the highest level. Because if you control what your enemy expects, you control what they prepare for. Another reason for the silence could be economic. Russia's power is built on energy, trade, and military capability. American and Western sanctions target all three. If Putin escalates publicly right now, it risks triggering harsher economic damage. So instead of making noise, he may be waiting for the moment when pressure shifts or when new alliances strengthen Russia's position again. It's not about emotion, it's about timing. Silence in politics often means activity in the background. Military repositioning, diplomatic backchannels, strategic realignments, Putin has always preferred actions over announcements. If he's planning something, he wouldn't tell the world. He would simply do it. And that possibility is what makes his silence so dangerous. Because you can't defend against what you don't see coming. Putin's quiet isn't just Russia's problem. It affects the entire world. When powerful leaders withdraw from the spotlight, it often signals that the next phase will be decided by actions, not words. And in global politics, actions have consequences. So why is Putin silent? Because he's cornered. Because he's negotiating. Because he's calculating. Or because he's preparing something the world hasn't imagined yet. We don't know. And that's exactly the point. Because in the world of power, silence isn't emptiness, it's intention. And right now, Vladimir Putin's silence is the loudest message of all.